хлопці коні, таляйте, спочивать, а я піду сад вишневе, сад Кремниченко копать, Маруся, а я піду сад вишневе, сад Кремниченко копать, Маруся, гей. Копа, 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 Кремниченко, у вишнево, у саду, чи не вийде дівчинонька, рано вранці по воду, Маруся, чи не вийде дівчинонька, рано вранці по воду, Маруся. Пішла дівчинонька, сад вишневе, воду брат, а за нею козаченько, веде коня на повал, Маруся, а за нею козаченько, веде коня на повал, Маруся, гей. Просу, 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 вітеречка, вона йому не дала, дару, з руки перстень, вона його не взяла, Маруся, дару, з руки перстень, вона його не взяла, Маруся, гей! Знаю, дівчинонько, чим я тебе розсмівив, що я вчора, із вечора, із другою говорю, Маруся, що я вчора, із вечора, із другою говорю, Маруся, гей! Вона ростом невеличка, ще літами молода, руса коса до пояса, козистричка голуба, Маруся, руса коса до пояса, козистричка голуба, Маруся, гей! Хлопці коні, таляйте, спочивать, а я піду сад вишневе, сад Кремниченко копать, Маруся, а я піду сад вишневе, сад Кремниченко копать, Маруся, ла-ла-ла-ла, ла-ла-ла-ла, ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла,
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, that was High Profile from their most recent CD, the second or third one, I believe they produced, and that is a tribute to Ukrainian heritage. In that song, traditional Ukrainian folk song, of course, Rozpirahajte chlopci koni, Unharness the Horses, Boys. Dobrý večer, doroгі радіослухачі, та вітаю вас всіх на радіопрограму Nash Holos, радіо українського коріння, яка подається вам, як звичайно, щосуботи о 6 годині на багатомовній радіостанції AM 1320 CHMB у місті Ванкувері і по мережі PCJ Радіо Міжнародному. При мікрофоні Павліна Макорі, дякую, що ви були слухачами сьогодні ввечері та рішили перебути зі мною наступну годину. Hello there and welcome to Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio, coming to you here on AM 1320 CHMB Vancouver and in international syndication on PCJ Radio International. I'm Paulette Demchik-McQuarrie, Pukadinska Pavlina, and I'm delighted to have you with me. This hour, we've got a great program lined up for you. We have an interview by a singer from Winnipeg, and she and her family have just put out, just before Easter, a lovely Easter album. So even though it's past Easter Sunday. Easter is going on for 5 weeks, actually, until Pentecost. So we're still in the middle of Easter season, technically. So very happy to talk to her about her brand new album and a little bit about her music and her activism in the Ukrainian Canadian community. So stay tuned for that. We've also got other items of interest. Our usual proverb of the week and great Ukrainian music. And coming up next, another traditional Ukrainian folk song. And this one is done by a contemporary Ukrainian group called Teen Sonsia. And if not the song itself, certainly the theme is traditional and goes back a few centuries. Yichale Kozaki, Cossacks went riding.
Пташина б'ється, віддала кохання хлопцю молодому. Їхали козаки, їхали додому. Віддала кохання хлопцю молодому. Їхали козаки, їхали.
Thanks to the foresight and generosity of its donors, the Taras Shevchenko Foundation has been investing in the future of the Ukrainian Canadian community for over 50 years. Since 1963, the Taras Shevchenko Foundation has been funding initiatives that strengthen our Ukrainian Canadian identity and enhance our Ukrainian Canadian cultural heritage. These include fine and performing arts and arts groups, museums, cultural centers, education, as well as authors, journalists, and the Ukrainian Canadian media, including this program. The foundation strives to become the premier not-for-profit foundation in Canada which acknowledges the Ukrainian Canadian community as a fundamental component of Canadian society. Nash Holos listeners are encouraged to support this vision through continued donations into the future. To apply for grants, make a donation, or for more information, visit shevchenkofoundation.com.
край світа, як тоді вітер в полі літа, гей, в америцький край. Лем жаль митя моя хижо, лем жаль митя моя хижо, солом'яная жаль. Лем жаль митя моя хижо, лем жаль митя моя хижо, солом'яная жаль. Ой, жаль ми вас, вівці сиві, штомплека вас без трезиви, гей, якими вас жаль. Хоч бідую не поїду, хоч бідую не поїду в америцький край. Хоч бідую не поїду, хоч бідую не поїду в америцький край. Жаль, митя моя страно, де живуть мамичка з няню, гей, якими вас жаль. То іначе бим поїхав, то іначе бим поїхав в америцький край. То іначе бим поїхав, то іначе бим поїхав в америцький край. На край світа, як тоді вітер в полі літа, гей, в америцький край. Лем жаль митя моя хижо, лем жаль митя моя хижо, солом'яная жаль. Лем жаль митя моя хижо, лем жаль митя моя хижо, солом'яная жаль.
Another group from Ukraine called Svitozara with a song called Ameritsky Krai, which translates as sort of America land. Bringing it back to Canada now, and actually Winnipeg, here is a group called Molodzy, which means young people, from their second CD, traditional Ukrainian folk song called Ivanku, Johnny.
Ivanku, Ivanku, z toho boku jarku, z toho boku jarku. Piszłabym do tebe, zjadła woda w karku. Piszłabym do tebe, zjadła woda w karku. Ładoczka tonenka, woda studenenka, a ja młodenka. Od nas się złomy ty, żamy się topity. Od nas się złomy ty, żamy się topity. Iwanku večerkom, prejdi do ňa tajkom, do ňa to vyznatý, koли vyjdu sa ty, i ňanko himati. Do ňa to vyznatý, koli vyjdu sa ty, i ňanko himati. Stary doma, a jak bude syno, możesz zajty smiło. A jak bude syno, możesz zajty smiło. Na jarku, zjala woda kładku, Na kryła kochania, prelety Iwanku. Na kryła kochania, prelety Iwanku. ярко, слава Богу, ярко. Пішла він до тебе, взяла вода кладком. Пішла він до тебе, взяла вода кладком.
When strangers are coming, they come to your house, they kill you all and say we're not guilty, not guilty. Where's your mind? Humanity cries. You think you are God, but everyone dies. Don't swallow my soul, our souls. Yaşlığıma doyamadım, ben bu yerde yaşamadım. Yaşlığıma doyamadım, ben bu yerde yaşamadım.
And a very popular singer from Ukraine, a Crimean Tatar by the name of Jamala, and that was 1944, the winning entry for Eurovision 2016. And that win was amid some controversy created mostly by Russia, of course, which desperately did not want that story to become known in the world. And it is the story of the Crimean genocide, a very little known genocide. Stalin deported most of them in 1944 in a very brutal operation. Jamala's own great-grandmother was one of those victims that managed somehow to avoid that fate, and as a result, Jamala is here with us today. And that song is going out specially for David, a Patreon supporter from the New York area. And hope that answered a few of your questions about the Crimean genocide. And thanks again, David, for your very generous support to Nash Holos on Patreon, and a nod to our other supporters as well on Patreon. Thank you so much for your contribution. And again, I hope you found this song by Jamala gave you a bit of information about the Crimean genocide of 1944, and perhaps inspired you to learn more about it on your own. Because today, once again, Crimeans and Ukrainians are suffering at the hands of the Kremlin. And the world knows about this, or sort of knows about it, although it's often off the radar of the mainstream media. but fortunately there are still some people that are bringing it up on social media. I was on Twitter the other day and came across a tweet in which someone asked, "How can we help Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression?" The reply was to memorize this brief statement made in British Parliament by Stuart MacDonald, Member of Parliament for Glasgow South.
And what took place in Crimea in 2014 was a sham, and it should be called out as such by anyone who believes in the democratic rights of people to express how they wish to be governed. Like other members who have spoken, I too have visited Ukraine on a couple of occasions. One time, similar to the Right Honourable Member for Malden, going out to Avdiivka, which is right on the front line, as he says, with the illegally occupied Donbas region. And in that context, I think we need to get the terminology right. Indeed, the last time I was there, I had this discussion with a journalist out there. These are Russian-led forces. They are not Russian-backed separatists. They're not Russian-backed forces. They're Russian-led. And they're not all separatists. Some of them wish for the Donbas to be independent. Some wish for it to join Russia. Some wish for it to be more autonomous within Ukraine itself. They are Russian-led terrorists and nothing else. And on this, I wish to come to how we can support Ukraine as individual members of Parliament. And part of that includes not appearing on channels such as Russia Today and Sputnik. Indeed, there are members who have spoken in this debate, no longer in their places, so I won't name them, who do exactly that. They are part of the problem. There are members of my own party, one quite high-profile former member of my own party who even has his own television show on Russia Today. For shame that they continue to appear on this. For shame that there are members of this House who not only appear but take money in return for appearing. There are former ministers of the current government who appear on RT as well. It must stop. Otherwise, all of the poetic speeches given mean absolutely nothing.
Stuart MacDonald, Member of Parliament for Glasgow South, speaking to the British Parliament on Wednesday, April 24th, 2019.
Як вбивали браті, славних козачей, під вражі пасурмани вішали нога, глянувши востаннє на цей світ біленький, у смертну годину козак молив нам. Хай живе
And a group called Darnichanka from Ukraine with Haj Живе Вільна Україна, Long Live Free Ukraine. And that will be the case as long as there are the heroes that are risking and some losing their lives in order to fight for Ukrainian independence and sovereignty that was so hard won and so short-lived in the 20th and into the 20th and into the 21st century. And as a nod to those wonderful, heroic people, here is a song from the Povstanets era from the World War II and just after. The freedom fighters from that era and a couple of generations later are still doing the same thing, handling magazines and cartridges to fend off the enemy.
Вже вечір вечоріє, повстанське серце б'є, а лента набої поспішно подає. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, країнський повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, країнський повстанче, в бою не відступай. А ворог атакує і приться щосил, юнак кулеметник їх правно косив. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Як сонце сходило, втомлений юнак, упав він ранений, упав він навзнак. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. До нього санітарка поспішно йде, в обличчя вдивляєсь, його пізнає. Ах, лента за лентою набої подала, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Пече в грудях рана, біля кулемета дівчина молода. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. А ворог атакує в останній момент, наново заграв вже затихлий кулемет. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай. Ах, лента за лентою набої подавай, український повстанче, в бою не відступай.
Nash Holos now has a Patreon site, and I hope as a listener you'll consider supporting the show with a donation there. Nash Holos is not funded by government and has no corporate financing, so as little as $1 a month will make a huge difference. Your money will be put to good use to help cover the myriad costs of keeping a show like this online and on the air. So please check out our Patreon page. There are links everywhere on the Nash Holos website, www.nashholos.com, or just go to patreon.com and search for Nash Holos. Щиро дякую.
This is CHMB, AM 1320, Vancouver.
Христос воскрес із мертвих, смертю, смерть подолав, смерть подолав і тим, що в гробах життя дарував. Христос воскрес із мертвих, смерть подолав, смерть подолав і тим, що в гробах життя дарував. Христос воскрес із мертвих, смерть подолав, смерть подолав і тим, що в гробах життя дарував.
The Ukrainian music scene in Winnipeg goes back decades, and today it is every bit as vibrant and prolific as it ever was. One Winnipeg family has been playing a very prominent role in making it so, and listeners of Nash Holos have been enjoying their music for decades. We have many of their CDs in the Nash Holos library that have come to us over the years, and many of them have a connection one way or another to the Chabluk family. The most recent album that they put out is a gorgeous collection of Easter hymns sung in a beautiful blend of traditional and contemporary musical styles. Joining us to tell us about the story behind the CD and her amazing musical family is Marika Chabluk from Winnipeg. Marika, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you.
Now, and thank you also for sharing your Easter album. It's just gorgeous, and it looks beautiful, and it sounds beautiful. And you've created almost a new sound that is distinctly your own. It's modern, but yet you managed to stay true to our beautiful traditions. So congratulations on that, and tell me how you did it.
Well, thank you very much. Well, Easter has been close to our family's hearts for all our lives, and we've been singing the traditional hymns all that time. We also have been blessed with exposure to fabulous choirs, Husli and Koshet. So we were exposed to the composers that arranged this music to be so sacred and so beautiful. So we're just thrilled to be able to reproduce it, and what was really important to us is to make it joyful, to make it the kind of a song that anyone could sing along to. We picked keys that were not too high, not too low, so that people can sing along. On the website, they can pick up the lyrics. We're happy to share the music. And we're just very passionate about these songs, and we're just absolutely thrilled that God led us to record them, and now we can share them.
So tell us about who are the singers?
Well, that too is a bit of a miracle in itself. I have been passionate about singing, and I received that gift from my parents, and I'm sure they from their parents. My husband is a longtime singer and a graduate from St. Vladimir's College, which is was a boys' school in Roblin, Manitoba.
And those guys could sing, yeah.
So Billy continues to sing in Husli Choir, which is originally an alumni choir from St. Vlad's, and our two boys also sing with them. And actually, 6 of the boys that recorded with us are singers from Husli Male Chorus. So Bill and Mahash sing bass, Elastic sings tenor, my daughter sings alto, and also some soprano lines with me. So we've been blessed with 4 voices in our family of 5. With those voices, we were able to record most of those songs. My 2 boys sing with 2 other brothers. So they're called Chotere Ukrainsky Bratia, Chub. And they sing 2 numbers on the CD, all in male chorus. And 2 songs, one of them a very well-known one, Dvone, which of course Easter is bells. And the other one I found on the internet, an absolutely beautiful song that says, rejoice all people, for Christ is risen. It's just gorgeous.
So that explains a lot about the quality of the vocals on this album. Really gorgeous. You know what, Marika, I think I told you when we first chatted. To me, you can't, I don't know. This is a word that you apply to something you see, not you hear, but it sparkles.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's some. It's like hearing joyful church bells and that sound of happy church bells and birds singing, and it just all blends in there. And it just has. You said that your goal was to make it sound joyful, and I think you certainly have accomplished that. And you manage, because obviously you've just told us you have a lot of musical training in your family, so that would explain how you're able to make it contemporary sounding.
Well, and I think it's important to mention that God had a huge hand in it. Like, no one can record an Easter CD and the Easter songs without that connection to faith. And our children all went through Christian schooling, and they all pray and believe that God plays an important part of their lives. And in singing about Christ's resurrection, in feeling his passion throughout Lent, and then the joy and celebration about Christ being born in us, not just at Easter, but throughout the year, is something that we wanted to share, and hope that people didn't play it just on Easter Sunday or for the Easter season, the 5 weeks after Easter till Pentecost, but really that they kept it in their heart that, yes, Jesus is alive, and living in us in all that we do throughout the year, and especially in the Easter season.
And the nice thing about this album, Marika, is that it's, I wouldn't say really crossover, but it has something about it. It has a quality that makes you stop and listen, because you've got lots of different elements. A lot of it's a cappella, which is traditional for church music in our Eastern Rite, but you do have some bells. You have a few little things as well that add to it. But I think also it's the energy that you put in. It's, well, the soul, obviously, but your approach as well to the arrangements, I guess. I don't know. What is it? What is your secret? How did you make it that way?
Well, I can share a little bit about that. It's my pleasure. So we work with Tom Korlick, who's an amazing arranger and also our recording technician. He also did the arrangements for our Christmas album with Duet Marina called Rejoice, of course.
Yes, I noticed. I noticed a couple of songs made me think of that album. They had kind of that same sort of arrangement, I guess.
And in this one, we actually had him hold more true. Something about the Christmas made it, gave us an opportunity to have more trumpets and more symphonic arrangements, which seemed to be the perfect fit for the Christmas. But this one, we used instruments, like you said, bells, bandura, some strings. And it was not as symphonic, but it let the voices come through proud and true, and the instrumentation facilitated it. And what was really exciting is the way he arranged some of the most common ones, like Radis Neba, Christos Voskres, Radis Neba, Hid Neba Zvid, Sohlas Noza Spivajmo. So those were ones that I think most Ukrainians, if they know 3 Easter songs, that could be one of them, as well as the original traditional church Christos Voskres that we sing at Easter basket blessing and and in every service after Easter. But those that are so commonly heard, he arranged them to make them so interesting.
And it's a great addition to the repertoire of CDs that you've already put out. And you mentioned Tom Korlick. He's a friend?
Yeah, a long-time friend. That's right. And his son made music with Katrusha, Machash, and Ivash in Molodzi. So we're connected through our own recording, but also through our children playing together. And they've done 2 recordings of dance melodies, Molodzi 1 and 2. So
yes.
If I could share with you now that so Molodzi 1 is primarily old time. So you have the anniversary waltz, the wedding march, the heel-toe polka, the kinds of things that you'd hear at an old-time Ukrainian wedding. And Molodzi 2, they've done their own style of a lot of popular Ukrainian folk songs, but they've made it their own with accordion, violin, the drums, the bass. And my daughter plays sopilka, which really adds a unique sound to it. So it's a beautiful Ukrainian flute that gives energy to all of their Ukrainian dance music.
Yeah, and as you know, they get a lot of airplay here on Nash Holos. That's the group Molodsi that is called Young People, which is a great name.
Right. Well, thank you. And I just might add that we also created that one with 10 vocal tracks. So
yes,
perhaps one of your listeners likes to sing. So these 10 vocal tracks with all the lyrics included are perfect for karaoke.
Yeah.
Or if somebody wants to do a little concert, at a family event or at their church, they can use the instrumental tracks and do the singing themselves.
Yeah. I noticed that. That was a great touch.
Well, and the nice thing is that they can sing along and learn it.
Yeah.
And we have some people even from Saskatchewan that have kept in touch with me quite a bit. And they say, my grandchildren don't speak Ukrainian and they can't read Ukrainian, so please put phonetic, but they love to sing it.
Yeah.
So we've made it as a learning opportunity so that they can sing along, and we put translations in so they understand what they're singing, and then they can perform it if they so desire. So it's been fun.
Yeah. And of course, making a learning experience is what you do naturally because you're a teacher.
That's where my passion is. That's absolutely true. And even as I was, a little bit younger, I would be passionate about the music and sit down and listen so long and so hard to pull the lyrics or the words off of my favorite songs that I heard other people record. So that's why I made it easy for anybody who wanted to sing along and to understand. Because the same thing, sometimes I wouldn't understand some of the lyrics and I'd have to go to somebody with a stronger Ukrainian background to explain to me what the song was about. So I want to make that easy for everybody for learning. And again, as you mentioned, I was a teacher and a school administrator. So it's just natural for me to want to share and teach and educate Ukrainians and non-Ukrainians as well. Everybody who wants any kind of a connection to Ukrainian music can feel comfortable and confident that it's all right there for them.
Yeah, and you do some songs with bilingual lyrics. You've got the Ukrainian and then the English translation. You've done that on your Christmas album, and you certainly do that on the Easter album for a few as well.
Absolutely. Most of them that are Christos Voskres is, of course, Christ is risen, and giving life everlasting are the words that ring true in so many songs. And actually, I took the time to count. We sang over 150 times Christos Voskres on this whole album. I just thought it rings out with, that message of Christos Voskres, Christ is risen.
Yeah.
And then, whether you understand the language or not, you start to recognize that phrase. So we didn't repeat that always in English. But for the songs that had several verses that told a story, we chose to sing a few English verses just to make that connection so that that meaning comes through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gorgeous album, and as is all the work that you do, Marika. You've got, as you mentioned, the Molodsi, which was your children singing, so you've passed that down a generation, which was nice. But you yourself have made a few CDs, and you have a website, so tell us all about that. How can people get more of you?
Well, my website is called Marika's Treasures. So, of course, I treasure all that I've helped to create over the years. So it started with Duet Marina, which a friend of mine, Irena Holochinsky-Wilson, we started singing songs of our pioneers. So we created our first CD to commemorate the coming of Ukrainian immigrants to Canada and singing songs of their hardships, their faith. They had to rely on their faith and their tradition and their fun to make life a wonderful opportunity for them in their new country. So Irena wrote a song called Krayina Kaska, which is Dreams of a New Land in a New Life. So we shared that in our first recording. Our second was a collaboration with Lviivsky Muziki, a quartet that was visiting in Canada from Ukraine that had a similar style and passion for lively folk music and a few love ballads there because it just made so much sense when you're singing with men that we sang the beautiful Ukrainian love songs to each other. And then our Christmas, as you had mentioned, which incorporates so many of the beloved Christmas carols. So we started with that. So then Molotsi made their 2 recordings, and with working with children, my passion became to share the songs that I had been teaching in schools. So they were arranged also by Tom Koroluk. I have a rap there and storytelling and lots of interesting beats and rhythms. And there as well, I sing in Ukrainian and English. I created a activity booklet with games and puzzles to make learning easy for families and children. And then now we have our Easter. So this is a collection of 7 that are available on the website, Marika's Treasures.
Okay, so give us the URL.
That's all you have to type in.
Okay.
It's marikastreasures.com, and you'll come up with that. All these musical pieces are available on digital download as well. We have a couple of platforms that we use. So if anybody wants it, it's almost instant right on your computer or your phone, as well as the hard CDs that are still available through the website.
Okay, and that's spelled Maryka?
S, Marika with the S.
Yes.
That's www.MarykaStreasures.com. Marika's Treasures, and it's Mary with a Y.
Good to know. Mary with a K-A at the end.
Perfect. Great. I have one more important thing to share. The net proceeds to this Easter CD is going to a very exciting project that has been set up by the Sister Servants of Mary Immaculate. So it's through the Lyubov Foundation, and they have near Lviv, Ukraine, a home for girls that have been released from orphanages. So they're older than 16, and they're not quite ready to be out on their own. They're young ladies that, for the most part, are sent to fend for themselves. But this home of hope has been established so that they can learn more life survival skills, they can take further training, more education, and as they graduate through the program that they have at Home of Hope, they're much better prepared to go out into the world and make a difference. Our family is very committed to supporting this cause, and all the net proceeds are going to Home of Hope near Lviv, Ukraine.
Wonderful. Marika, when information came out about human trafficking, 15 so years ago, and that was one of the targets of human traffickers was orphanages. Once the girls were out, 16 is perfect for human trafficking, right? For brothels around the world. And these poor girls have nothing else. And so this is wonderful. This first I've heard of it, and I hope that there will be more. And certainly this is a great cause to be supporting, and purchasing a CD will certainly put a little bit of money in the coffers. So that's great. Wonderful of you to do this.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. And like you said, the more people get to hear about it, the more they can make donations through the Lyubov Foundation or contact the Sister Servants of Mary Immaculate. Right now they serve one home, but there's plans for another. And of course, the need is huge. So like you said, it's difficult for these young ladies. And this is certainly a program that will give them strength and help them become leaders in their community.
Exactly. And as both of us being graduates of Sacred Heart Academy, which is run by the Sister Servants of Mary Immaculate in Yorkton, I think that high school experience is one of the dearest memories I have. I treasure it so much. It was the best time of my life, I would say.
I would agree. That's great. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Shevchenko Foundation. They have also supported us right from the beginning in many of our recordings, and we truly appreciate their financial support.
Yes, and as they've supported this program as well, and another great organization. So wonderful, wonderful work you're doing, and thank you for continuing. It sounds like you've retired from teaching, but you're still at it informally and just doing great work and spreading great messages of hope and love around the world. So thank you for doing that. May you have many, many more years of doing it, Nohayalita, on your work and on this album and all the previous ones and the ones in the future. Thank you so much, Marika.
Well, and I'd like to say how much it means to me that you've taken an interest in your role as a radio producer, and we truly appreciate it. So we hope we'll hear from some of your listeners and of course, that you continue to play our music and that everyone enjoy it.
You can count on that.
Thank you.
And Christos Voskres.
Voistinu Voskres.
I was speaking with Marika Chabluk, Ukrainian-Canadian singer, former teacher, community activist in Winnipeg, about her family's most recent Easter album. You can find out more about Marika and her music and her work in the Ukrainian community in Winnipeg and Canada at her website, www.marikastreasures.com, as well as on her Facebook page. Again, Marika's Treasures. That's MARYKAS Treasures. Check it out. And now a couple more songs from that lovely Easter album by the Chabluk family. All basically the same song, Christos Voskres, Christ is risen.
Голосно заспіваймо, веселімся разом десь, Ісуса прославляймо, Він бо із мертвих воскрес. Христос воскрес із мертвих. Воскрес, воскрес, воскрес із мертвих. Смертю, смертю, смерть подолав, смертю, смертю, смерть подолав, і тим, що во гробах життя, життя дарував. Let us all sing joyfully, join in common harmony. Let us glorify our Christ, for He's risen in the light. Christ is risen from the dead. Christ is risen, Christ is risen, risen from the dead. He has conquered death by death. He has conquered death by death, and He gives a promise of life, everlasting life. Ангел Божий наперед камінь з гробу відвалив, і невістам сповістив, що Ісус смерть побідив. Христос воскрес із мертвих. Воскрес, воскрес, воскрес із мертвих. Смертю, смертю, смерть подолав, смертю, смертю, смерть подолав, і тим, що во гробах життя, життя дарував. God's own angel in advance rolled the heavy stone away. To the women He proclaimed, Christ by rising death did slay. Christ is risen from the dead. Christ is risen, Christ is risen, risen from the dead. He has conquered death by death. He has conquered death by death, and He gives a promise of life, everlasting life. Христос воскресе! Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих. Смертю смерть, смерть, смерть здолав, і тим, що в гробах, і тим, що в гробах, і тим, що в гробах життя дарував. Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих, Христос воскресе із мертвих. Смертю смерть, смерть, смерть здолав, і тим, що в гробах, і тим, що в гробах, і тим, що в гробах життя дарував.
вода тече, що ж мені, дівчатко, на то рече? Ой, чи рече, чи не рече? Гаєм зелененьким вода тече. Ой, чи рече, чи не рече? Гаєм зелененьким вода тече. Не піду до леса без сокири, що ж би я там робив без дівчини? Візьму дівчата й на ручки, будую колисами помалючки. Візьму дівчата й на ручки, будую колисами помалючки. Я фраїра більш не буду, мала я фраїра більш не буду, на флоярці ду-ду-ду-ду. Мала я фраїра більш не буду, на флоярці ду-ду-ду-ду. Мала я фраїра більш не буду. Гаєм зелененьким вода тече, що ж мені, дівчатко, на то рече? Ой, чи рече, чи не рече? Гаєм зелененьким вода тече. Ой, чи рече, чи не рече? Гаєм зелененьким вода тече. Тече.
And popular Ukrainian singer Oksana Mucha with a traditional Ukrainian folk song, very cheery for springtime, Hayam Zelenenkim in the Green Grove. You've been listening to Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio, our flagship show here in Vancouver, which comes to you Saturdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on AM 1320 CHMB on the radio dial and online at am1320.com, as well as in international syndication on PCJ Radio International. In between broadcasts, please visit our website for transcripts and audio files, as well as our podcast feed, and that is at www.nashholos.com. There's a link to our Patreon site there as well, where you'll find playlists, proverbs, and other extra features for patrons and donors. Нежами вже скінчила нашу програму, що час додому і сказати до побачення, але перед тим я хочу залишити вас такими словами мудрості. Так у світі буває, що народ із народу користає. And our proverb of the week translates as, "This is a world in which one nation takes advantage of another." And with that, we've come to the end of our program, so we'll wrap it up with Peter Lamb and Vivat. I'm Pavlina on behalf of all of us here at Nash Holos and AM 1320. Thanks for listening, and Dobranich!
А ну, музики, грайте, бо не молоді ходять з церкви.